Right.
I was about to volunteer, but please
Well,
go ahead.
were you about to volunteer to do the catch-up? I don't think you were, because you only do catch-ups in memes. Alright, let's begin. So this is Mokhul, episode 16. This is our 16th session. So, last session, we began with you guys inside the cavern. Chester was sloshed and was basically directing the guards around, telling them how to do their job. And they arrived in their rowboats, and Makra met a cleric. A cleric by Anubis, I believe you did. And you asked him if he could fix you. Basically, get rid of the curse on you. And he agreed, and you said that you would be there later that night.
Uh-huh.
And you never did turn up. Anyway, the rest of you guys...
I've still got chat.
Because Makra does not have a calendar.
No, I've got it's in my calendar. It is in there.
Yeah, his name was Halim.
He was scheduled right after Burn the Wine.
Yeah, his name was Halim Al-Faraj. And he said that he could remove the curse if you came to his temple in the market district when you were free, basically, that evening. But you also let your wife's body be taken for investigation, and they said they would drop it off at your house that evening. But you guys went your separate ways. We had Grildar and Chester going straight to the Grildar residence, and Gwendeth and Makra heading straight to the Fresh Flask in the city of Mokhul, where you met up with George again, and you guys all got a long rest. And in the morning, we had a funeral where Makra cremated his wife, and the daughters plus George and Gwendeth all kind of paid their respects. But meanwhile, as Gwendeth was sitting at the edge watching and paying her respects, Lady Greenridge approached. And there was a bit of a taunting going on there between one another before she got in a carriage and said that she must attend the council, the nobles' council, and left. Meanwhile, Grildar got a visit from the Royal Herald, Haydar, the small blind girl with the stag horns. And she said if you'd like to come with her, she'll direct you to the council. And you and it was Jandel, sorry, went off to the nobles' council in your carriage. Some events that happened was Makra's daughter created a painting, or like a charcoal sketch of the future, and found a washed up treasure from George Wavecleaver's ship, a small emerald, and she put it onto the painting and created a Sears card, the same type of cards that Lantix seems to be collecting. Makra saw a vision of Sashida being executed by a vampire with a circlet, a beautiful kind of blonde-haired vampire, and the Hound Guards were bursting in to try to rescue her. And the Hound Guard that he had experienced this vision through Private Garnell, had been attacked by a vampire from the shadows and dragged in, and you actually came out of the vision feeling like your neck had been bitten. Meanwhile, the War Council went on, and Grildar found out a lot of information. Found out that the God King knew that Lady Greenridge was indeed an ancient black dragon, and he had given her asylum a long time ago when she had raced and fled, the Redfoot clan and their attacks on her family, as the way she said it. And the God King invited in the Bretonian diplomat, Amelie Tinkerton III, and her two bodyguards, Darioso and Vivian. Vivian, a new bodyguard that you guys had never met, a half tiefling, half... It was weird. It looks like she had a monkey tail, she had big sideburns, but she had big iron gauntlets on, and she threatened the Black Dragon and said if she ever threatened her mistress again, she'd crush her. And the God King did his own little bit of torturing, threatening Lady Greenridge. And there was much discussion over the table, I believe, where the God King also mentioned that he was looking for the Seer's Apprentice. And the Seer's Apprentice would be young and be drawing the future, and that the noble by the name of the Grave Wardens had been tasked with the quest to find the this Seer's Apprentice. Hassim Grave Warden is his name. A tall, wiry man with white dreadlocks. And he said, of course, I'm working with the Inquisitors. We'll soon find her. And I think not a lot else was discussed other than Grildar saying, like, oh, my friends want a reward for what they did. And of course the God King said, of course, like, what would you like? In the background, Adrian and Curtis were shouting while muted, screaming, "Boat! Boat! Boat!" And Arne wound them up a bit by saying, "Should I ask for a chariot?" And anyway, you asked for a boat, and he ordered that you shall get a schooner, a sailing ship, and he will.
Did you say a sloop?
Yeah, we're gonna go with schooner. And he said that he would fashion it out and give you 2 scorpions, but you would have to find the crew. He also said, after you requested, he said that he would take away the property that Chester owns in Quisitarten.
What?
Yeah, you don't even... I know, Chester doesn't even know about it yet. And then, because fucking Grildar still got the deed to the house, but you handed in the deed, and the God King said within the week, you will have better manor residences in the Indalai Valley instead. And that would be your reward. The house, which is a base of operations, and the schooner, a ship.
Bitches better pay me some money.
You had a lot of money.
And we ended the session as Gwendeth here, after her whole day of spying on the infirmary, decided to... Well, no, a nurse approached her and said, "Come with me." And as you approached with this nurse, she pointed at something and then ran off. And you kind of searched around for a bit and found that there was indeed an invisible trapdoor built into the wall in the gardens of the infirmary. And that's where we ended the session.
Important for you, Todd. What Gwendeth did to spy out the infirmary was rent a chair from a bar around the corner, put it in front of the infirmary, and sit there for an entire day.
Subtle. I love it.
Exactly everything that Adrian did last session. We're not even like exaggerating. He just sat on Gwendeth just sat on a chair, just watching the infirmary. A proper stakeout, but without being hidden. Okay, so today we start with Chester. And Chester, my friend, you wake up in the Grildar residence, the Ironblood residence, with a knock at the door. Rap, rap, rap.
Oh, I feel like I've slept for a month. Come in!
And the door opens and you see Tazria, your, well, recently departed beloved. And as you are opening your eyes, she walks over to the side of the room, flings the curtains open, letting out, like, midday sun. And she goes, "Chester, you've slept in enough. I know that you were that hungover, but you have visitors, friend."
I must entertain. Give me a moment.
Well, Grildar will be back very soon. The War Council should have ended by now.
Oh, but I missed it.
I don't believe you invited. And as she clicks her fingers, Randall brings in plate of food. He goes, "Hello, sir. I have delivered you breakfast of." He looks towards Tazir, who gives him a knowing nod, like and a smile. He goes, "I was told to say the breakfast of champions."
Fitting. Place it down there, good sir.
And it's a nice, big, fat, like, kind of pork chop and eggs. And then he goes, "Would you care for some freshly squeezed lemon juice, sire?"
Yes. Excellent. I should sleep in more often.
No, not here.
Oh, well, of course. So you can only take so much of my presence, I guess.
Yes, basking
tell me.
in that glorious presence does indeed hurt my eyes.
Of course. Try some drops. Anyway, where can I find these guests?
Downstairs.
Right, excellent. Good. You may go.
Okay.
And I'll eat and prepare myself and look lavishing, and I shall, with a sprightly step, go downstairs.
Okay, so as you walk downstairs, there's a tall, wiry, dark-skinned man with white dreadlocks standing by the entrance. He looks tired, like exhausted, like sweating profusely, and he's out of breath slightly.
Hark, good man. How?
Are you the one they call Chester Decker?
Alas, you've heard of me.
Yes.
That's a relief.
Arena champion, no?
Correct. Indeed, at your service.
A big smile crosses his like fuzzy cheeks, and you see he's got stark white teeth, despite being quite aged. He goes, "You can call me Hassim Gravewarden."
A pleasure, good sir.
He smiles and says, "I have just left the Nobles' Council, leaving your friend Master Ironblood behind. I've come to talk to you, friend. May we walk?
Nothing would please me more.
And
I've been in too long.
He
Too long.
indicates the door.
Of course. After you, good sir.
And as he walks out, you see two guards fall in behind him, and they're both wearing like animal masks. One is of a cat, and the other of a cheetah.
People have heard.
He goes, "Do not mind the Inquisitors. They are simply here to protect myself."
Excellent. You must be a man of upstanding stature, like myself. Finally, a man I can rub shoulders with.
Yes, this smile doesn't leave his face, and he exits the Ironblood residence and heads south through the Andivi Valley, following the orchards and the river. And he says, "My friend Chester Decker, I've come to ask a few questions. I work for the Empire's Inquisition."
I believe I've met some of your kin before
Yes,
on a bridge.
My men did indeed say that you had tried to enter the House of Answers to seek audience with Hadar,
Correct.
the Royal
Correct.
Herald.
Most rebuffed I was. Perhaps you can fix that for me next time.
Yes, that is a shame. From now on, you should be allowed to come through and go as you please, of course. If you could
most
answer some of my questions.
I am an open book, good sir.
He sits down and indicates what looks like a very fine white picnic cloth with a wicker basket in the center. You see there's another Inquisitor there, and this Inquisitor has the mask of a hippo.
Well, colour me impressed.
And he says,
I've just eaten, but of course I can do more.
he points towards the wicker basket and he moves it slightly, and everything seems to be a practice maneuver for him, practice move. He moves it, sits on his knees, moves the top of the wicker, puts it to the side, begins plucking out other bits of food wrapped. And he says, "I know you've probably just had noonday lunch, but please, these are picked from my very own orchards." And he's got little picnics of fruits and stuff like that, little silks wrapped up in fruits. And he goes, "The questions I wish to ask regard Master Ironblood."
Of course. I'm already stuffing my face. Of course, I can only hope.
He's a stout friend. The Ironblood's a stout friend of the Empire. Okay? And all I ask is something that concerns the God King. He lied in the council, and the questions regarding such lies are of major import to the Empire. Now, the God King has an innate ability to see when people are lying.
Most handy.
Did not lie.
What was that?
He can see through secrets and deception.
Good. Well, I will be of most help, of course.
Out of game, that's a 27 on insight.
Yeah, no, that's right. I just want to make it clear that I didn't actually lie.
I know. But friend, I don't suppose you've seen anything peculiar about anybody that Master Ironblood spends time with. Does any of them seem to help you garner wealth, avoid tragedy? A young man or woman, perhaps? A child?
I tell you what, good sir.
They would preferably be elven.
I might be able to help you, but of course, there are certain, things that a man of myself may or may not require access to, free, of course, for people such as your influence and power within this city. Perhaps we could come to some sort of arrangement.
What sort of arrangement are you talking about, Chester Decker?
Well, you see, I search for things as well, and I look for answers of my own. Perhaps we could help each other if you would, say, allow me access to certain questions I may have as well.
Ask away.
Good. Now, people such as yourselves, powerful people, people in the know, of course I rub shoulders with them all the time. But not here. My influence here is very, very small. I'm looking for tomes and texts that might be locked away, special and specific on matters of old magic. Could you help me with that?
He nods and says, "The God King's power descends from old magic. Primordial magic. I could
Fantastic.
put in a good word. I do believe you have met him. He mentions that he regrets not actually speaking to you, but the Royal Herald said that you're a charming young man.
Ah, fantastic. Just marvellous. Good taste, that one. So, that should be sufficient. And of course, I'll hold up my little stumpy fingers as well. This was the original reason I was trying to get past in the first place. Any chance you could help me out with that?
You are half of a grip, friend.
Exactly. And as a performer, I need all of my digits intact.
I see.
Unfortunately, after a little mayhap at the Grildar estate.
I heard. What a tragedy.
Good. Now to your question. I don't know the precise details, as it were. You see, I'm somewhat so intimidating to this little band of individuals that they don't often confide in me. It's something I'm working on.
The smile slightly fades from his face.
But. I could point you in the direction of conversations I've overheard, suspicions here and there. I know that you're focusing in on the wrong man.
I am? Who should I be focusing in on, then?
You see, Mr. Ironblood doesn't have that form of connection, I don't think. And I'm quite astute with these things. Some say I was voted most likely to succeed in my college.
I see.
But I think the individual you want to start to get to know a bit better is one Mac Ra.
You say Mac Ra has... What? We've investigated this bugbear. He's a simple creature. There's nothing amiss.
But he definitely has an insight. This I've seen.
You have?
Perhaps you're looking in the wrong place, or inferring the wrong thing. I would say someone around him would yield better results than perhaps looking towards Mr. Ironblood.
Okay, so as you're speaking, can you make me a perception check? Not Grildar check.
Yeah, I will.
Yep.
Don't know why Chester's come back just as slimy as Elijah, but hey ho. Perception. Nope.
Okay, and he says, I thank you for your time, friend. Take your time here in Indolai Valley. It is our most beautiful area.
No, that it is.
Keep the
place.
fruits.
Excellent. Most excellent.
And him and his inquisitors stand up and walk away. And when they're about out of sight, somebody steps from behind a tree about 30 feet away from you, stands there and stares at you with her arms folded. And what you notice is she has huge gauntlets, ram-like horns on her tiefling body, but big bright red sideburns, and a flop Mohican that parts between her horns. And she stands there in her robes and walks towards you.
Fair motto, good lady.
What did you just do?
Well, the fruit is quite good, but I was about to start on the cheese.
She kicks the basket and it goes flying like 10 feet away. All the food and bits of cheese go flying everywhere.
Well, you clearly haven't heard of me. Who are you, perchance? I've had quite the stressful morning.
Can you make a history check? And you don't gain advantage, but you do get a lower DC because you're from the Longinia.
The finest of cities. Hang on. History.
Alright, 10. You recognize her for some reason? Like, she must be something part of, like, society? Because it's on the tip of your tongue. You don't quite know her name, but you recognize her, and then she says, my mistress wishes to see you at some point today.
And I get the impression you're a lady of culture. Perhaps...
She spits on the ground.
Perhaps not. Would you regale me with whom your mistress is? And I will, of course, hitherto owe the post haste. My friends appear to be engaged in their own pursuits.
She's at the Silver Tower. Her name is Amelie Tinkerton, the diplomat.
Now all colour drains from my face. Ah, right you are.
Let's just say she now recognizes you for who you are.
Excellent. And when would she like to see me?
She says she wanted me to tell you she remembers your parents.
Right, you are.
And your sister.
Of course. I shall not make the lady wait.
No, she might be disappointed in you though, jeopardizing our mission here in this city.
Right you are. Keep the cheeses. I was quite full.
Yeah.
And I'll stand up and do I know where the Silver Tower is?
Yeah, you've seen it before. It's right near the Spice Tower. And as you go to stand, she goes, "Now I'm off to make sure that they don't kill no child. Okay?
Right. Yep.
Get going!"
Alright, fuck me, see you later. I'll start walking off.
Yeah.
I'll head towards the Silver Tower literally as fast as I can without running.
Okay, so at that moment, we'll go over to Makra, who's just watching the flames die out on the beach. You've consoled your daughter Mimu and screwed up the piece of parchment, haven't you, and put it in your bag so that it doesn't make contact with anything. Because you're quite delicate with it, you didn't want it to the memory to activate again.
No.
One thing you're starting to notice, Makra, is as the fire's dying down, and you've helped in Shidell build cremation fires, big pits that help burn bodies completely and ashes. Her bones have not burnt, not a single bit. In fact, her skeleton still lays there intact and with an odd kind of bluish tinge to it.
Did they fucking Wolverine encased of fucking bones and fucking metal?
Yeah. No one even noticed that she didn't take any damage from critical hits.
I don't think we really.
That's why Adrian's like, I went, nope, you do 12. And he's like, wait, what?
I thought because she was raging. I didn't.
No, but you notice that there is a thin bluish film of metal all around her skeleton.
You may have said that, but did Adrian notice?
No, Adrian did not. And as you approach, the fire's going to sputter out. You've garnered a lot of attention. There's a funeral on the beach right behind Avbu Avenue, and you see that a bunch of people have turned up to witness this.
Yeah.
Sorry,
There's not much I can really do about the metal skeleton. I guess I'm just going to leave it there till the fire's burned down, at least anyway.
Yeah.
I feel like I need to go and pay my cleric of the dead a friend so I can get this fucking cursed axe off me.
Yeah, George goes, Yar, if you want to head off and do your own business, I don't mind looking after the little ones.
No, I feel like they can. I feel like they're going to have to learn a bit more of the city. And they can come with me.
Okay, so you head to the Grand Obelisk. It takes about 45 minutes to get there.
Mm-hmm.
And when you arrive, you see that the place is silent as usual, and the strong smell of incense wafts out of the obelisk. And it's a very big, hollowed out obelisk, because the base is this big block, just kind of like a cube of obsidian, and then the rest of the obelisk floats some 100 feet above.
Yeah,
it breaks away from the base. Yeah, it's just south of the Hippodrome. Remember, it breaks away to a big floating chunk of obelisk, and as you head in, this sense of this sense of jasmine and all kinds of incense wafts over you, and you see the Silent Brothers are going about their business. As you walk in, a acolyte approaches. He's in the red robes and red veils of an acolyte, so you can only see his eyes. He's wearing a full hooded all the way down. He's wearing sandals, and all you can see is his eyes and none of his face. And he says, how may I help you, citizen?
Halema Faraj?
Of course, sir. One moment. I'll call him. And he shuffles off, his sandals clip-clopping against the shining bright marble floor, and you see that their drift globes float lazily in circles above the massive hall, lighting the place up in glittering daylight splendor. And within about a minute, one of the side doors opens, and he goes, "Ha!" Kind of hisses towards the acolyte, and the acolyte continues to do his business, walking around the sides of the room. And Alfarage walks straight up to you and bows, and he's got that familiar white robe with the black slashes across the front. And he strokes his greying beard and says, "You've come. I expected you yesterday."
I had my wife to attend to. You clearly think you probably had something to do with that.
Yes, I indeed did speak to her deaf body.
Hmm.
Come with
It was
me.
a long.
Come. And he leads you into his side office, like a side office. It's very Spartan. It's just got like a sleeping pallet in one corner, and a nice kind of like walnut desk that's to fit one person. You see, it's got some books and scrolls on the wall, and above you is a chandelier that hangs bowls to put incense in, and his belongings hang on the wall. This looks like 3 sets of robes, a stave, a shield, and a mace, and a breastplate as well. And he sits down on the mats and indicates to the cushion opposite his low standing table. And he says, "If I am to understand, you need a curse removed." Normally, I charge 200 gold pieces for such services, but you did great service to the Empire, and I have received news from the Blood General that you are to be afforded all generosities.
So I owe nothing.
Yes. That is what I meant, Makra. You owe nothing at this precise time. Place the offending artifact on the table, if you would.
I'll put it down and like very hesitantly move my hand away from it because I don't really like it being out of my possession.
There's a smile that crosses his bearded face as you do that. You are scared of said axe.
And kind of in love with it. Like the kids are just like playing in the background, and just like leaning like kind of like the axe.
He says, "Do not worry about your kids. They will be fine outside." Okay, well, I'm going to remove the curse now. And he brings a hand over the weapon. His hands glow kind of like briefly white, and then release a smog that seems to surround the weapon. And then the smog seems to dissipate, and you do feel it, Macro. You feel different. It's like as if it's been detached from you. And then he leans over, grabs a silk cloth with all kinds of intricate runes, and just throws it over the table and over the axe. It is done.
Get in.
Yes, Anubis answered quickly. You are blessed.
Sweet. Are you sure you don't want to make me some form of like donation or something somewhere? Can I do that just like...
If you are willing to donate to his Hounds Church, then points towards outside. There are many donation baskets.
Alright, cheers. Let us know if you need anything doing. We'll be in the city for the next couple of
The
weeks.
Hound Brothers thank you for your service.
Yeah, cheers. Thank you. Like I say, if you need anything else from us, you know where I live.
As you walk out, Mimu's like, "Papa, why do they cover their faces? Why are they covered in robes? Isn't it hot under there?" And she begins trying to tug the acolyte's veil off, and he's like, "No, no."
Behave.
Yeah.
Come here, we're going to take a prayer.
Okay, yeah, there's like a huge altar, and it's a statue, a golden statue of Anubis with his hound's head, and he's holding a halberd in one hand and a shield in the other, and his feet like kind of are built into the very marble. And as you approach, there are several baskets, and you see fruits have been laid out, like offers to the brothers. You see like pictures of lemon water and all kinds of stuff.
Go on then, Fixer. Aziza would have showed you how to do it better than I know how to do it. How do we do this?
Okay, so Fixer walks up and says, "How much do you want to give, Father?"
I'll give it 200 gold.
Are you sure? She looks at it greedily.
But we'll be fine.
Can you make a perception check?
Oh, she's a rogue. I like it. She's definitely pocketing some of this for herself, and I'm not noticing.
Right, depends. You might notice.
Nope.
Anyway, she kneels, and as she does, she brings like parts of. Like, she's got like a coin purse, and she empties like a couple of silver bits that she's got in her pocket, in her purse, and then puts it into her back pocket. and then she begins layering the gold coins out into the little purse, puts it down, kneels, and you see Mimu kneels next to her with her hands in prayer. They begin muttering under their breath.
I'll just when the mush. Tell me what to say.
It's not that difficult, Father. And they're both like,
I'm just making. I probably even know how to do it myself. I just want them to like instruct me how to do it. Then
bless me, Father.
Bless me, Father.
Weigh my soul righteously.
Weigh my soul.
Weigh my soul righteously, Dad.
Weigh my soul righteously.
They finish their prayer quickly and they stand and they're like, "It's so embarrassing." The nearby, you can't tell the surprised look on the nearby veiled face of the acolyte, but you can tell he's shocked just by staring at you.
Cool. Alright, come on.
Alright, you leave.
Let's go find Uncle Chester and Uncle Ironblood.
Okay, which we'll get to that because you guys would meet up literally outside, but we're going to go over to Grildar. So Grildar, after the council's finished and you've gone home, you reach home perfectly fine with Jenda, and Drendel's like, and now I guess what they're going to happen is have the Matriarch's Council, and that's where the real decisions are made. This is all just nobles posturing, really. I don't mind it because it gets in on what's going on, but did you really mean what you said? This city is no longer yours.
I did.
That's fair enough, brother. And I wish you good luck in whatever future endeavour you want. I will not be mother and I will not be father. There will always be a room and house here for you. You need it.
Appreciate it.
And will support you on any endeavour that you employ, of course.
Very well, Jindal. I believe you'll do well here.
I will
if
try.
you keep your temper in check, and I'll just, punch her in the shoulder a bit.
Yeah, she's like, nothing's pissed me off yet. And then you just hear this raucous singing, and then you see a twitch in her eye. It's like, Tazria is going to get on my nerves.
I imagine so.
I'm going to build her a sound room when we have the funds, and cast silence spells all around it.
And I'll just, chuckle and nod at her.
And then you see Tazria appearing as the voice gets kind of louder and louder as she walks closer and closer. And she hangs on the balcony and says, "Oh, brother, you're back. Chester's already got up and left. Hassim came to see him."
Very good.
I fed him bacon and eggs, and then he went for a picnic. He must be absolutely famished. Anyway, Anrin says that she's working on scrolls.
I see.
Would you not? Oh, never mind. And she kind of dances off across the top of the balcony, so you disappearing down one of the other corridors.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Jindal, I think it is time for me to start packing and taking my leave soon. Is there anything important you wish me to help with before I leave?
There is not, brother. You do you. And I'll
Very
get
well.
on the business of the family.
Yep, and then I'll just start packing my stuff.
He says, I've still got to quit at the guild. My matriarch sisters don't really know that I've already taken on the responsibility of the household. So, but they're not going to be happy.
I imagine not, but, well, you do you.
Have a good time. And she walks off, like, sighing again as Tazria walks back the way, singing acoustics into the house. You see Randall beside you go, head side to side. I'll miss you, sir. It seems we have the same sensibilities. And as he walks off, you see he's got some sort of wax stuffed in his ear.
I'll just nod at him and tap him on the shoulder and be off.
Okay, so you're just packing your gear and...
Yeah, pretty much. I just want to go and inspect the mansion to see if there's anything that I think still needs doing. And if not, then I'll be on my way.
Other than a few minor repairs, there's not much that really needs doing.
Right.
Okay.
I'll do the minor repairs since I can do that very easily.
Okay, yeah, you spend well, quite a bit of the early afternoon. I guess the repairs for you with your magic would take about 3 hours.
That much? Are you sure?
Yeah, there's a lot. There's like broken windows, there's like shattered floorboards, there's burnt tapestries. A battle did happen here.
Yeah, I mean, I can restore 10 cubic feet in one action.
I did not know that. Then yes, it would take a lot less time. I guess it would take about 20 to 30 minutes at most.
Yep.
You even stop for lunch and you're still able to get it done.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Just like walk around with a sandwich in one hand and just...
Well, alright, we'll move over to Gwendeth then. So Gwendeth, you've literally just found this trapdoor. This is where we ended the session.
We actually ended the session with me going back and sitting back on my chair.
Yes, okay, yes. So you've got the information. What do you do?
Well, I continue sitting on my chair. They can't know that I found anything out.
I knew you were going to say that.
If I just left now, they would know I know something. So
Yeah,
I'm literally
okay. So
there.
after about like maybe 20 minutes after you found the staircase, the wagon that you saw Lady Greenridge leave clatters up in front of the infirmary, and she gets out on the other side. Then you see her through the horses. She notices you, and she just plods up towards you, heeled boots slapping against the coals. Still here, are we? You should be gone. Go.
But you said I could watch.
Not anymore. Gone.
Well, I'll take my share and go.
Yeah, take your chair and fuck off.
But I'll throw this chair at your face someday and then shoot an arrow at it.
You wouldn't dare. I'm
What, the chair throwing or the arrow?
Both.
I thought the chair at her.
Okay, if you roll a hit without your proficiency bonus.
What the... Is that strength? I assume that's strength. So
Yeah, we'll go with strength. Okay, yeah.
21.
Yeah, it clatters against her side, and she goes, I've had enough of this! And you see her eyes turn inky black as the rest of her eyes just fill up with this inky blotchy black, and her teeth go suddenly silver and sharp. She says, if you are not off my property within the minutes, I will tear you asunder, God King or no!
I'm in front of your property! And then I leave.
Yeah, she's like gritting her teeth. She goes, take your bloody chair! She picks it up and throws it at you. It misses and clatters against the cobbles. And she goes, ugh! Stumbles into her infirmary. And you hear the nurses say, welcome back. Shut up! As she screams at them.
I take my chair back.
Yeah, you walk over, take the chair. And at that moment, George is walking past and he goes, yar. Just stares at you.
George, I threw a chair at the dragon.
Yeah, it kind of looked like you threw a chair at a innocent, beautiful lady, but you say that's the dragon, the one
that is 100%.
The one that owns the hospital that cured me, that you took me away from.
Well, it's a dragon's hospital, so I sort of assumed they would eat you.
Aye, a dragon's hospital, and he spits towards it.
I don't know if you're on the same page or not, George.
Shall I go in and shall I go in there and give her a little bit of word? Tell her to stay away from you.
She's in a feeding mood.
Yeah, a feeding mood, eh?
I throw a chair.
I feel like we're speaking in euphemisms.
No, I'm speaking literally. She is a dragon, and she will eat you.
Well, her temper kind of reminds me of old Bill Cutter. But, never mind that.
What species is George again? I forgot.
He's a half-orc.
Oh, I thought he had. He was the same as my neighbour.
Yeah.
George, I paid for a few more days yet, so just chill out, drink, and eat on my tab, and
See now that presents a problem, doesn't it, my friend? You say we live, but 7 doors opposite a dragon? I gotta go in there and confirm this, and he just walks off towards the infirmary.
No, can you not?
Why? He turns back. Why? Why shouldn't I?
She burnt down your boat.
There weren't no burning down in my boat. I was attacked by floating gas, I believe. I did see a dragon. Aye, but there were no flames. It was my own foolish quartermaster's fault. He tried to fire the cannon and fell straight into our supply, the fucking fool, and blew us up.
Can you not go over? Can we...
Well, he goes, I'm standing on the portal, sir. Ma'am, what you gonna do, Gwendeth? And you see that he sways slightly. He's been drinking.
I take my chair again and come with him.
He goes, yar, that's the spirit, Redfoot. Come on. Let's show her what's what. And he stumbles in, and as the nurse goes, sir, can I... And he goes, Yar, you cannot help me, but she can. And he points straight towards the office that slams, and he just stumbles across
We're gonna lose our
captain.
captain.
And he goes, knock, knock. He goes, he actually says, he goes, knock, knock, knock. And you hear, go away. And he goes, Yar, it's George Wavecleaver. You're gonna want to hear this. I'm with Miss Redfoot. And then you hear, patter, patter, patter. The door swings open. I thought I told you to get away from my property. Yar, that's no way to speak to another lady.
My pirate is here.
Yeah, she's narrowing her eyes at you and she goes, off. Now, there are sleeping patients.
Gwendeth, like, pokes one of them to check if it's a real human.
Yeah, he goes, oh, and you see he's got his leg in a cast. And the pirate goes, Yar, Gwendeth, she don't look like like dragon. Yar, she's... And he goes, he kind of jabs her in like the stomach region, and then her look on her face is pure fire. And he goes, Yar, I believe a dragon would be more scaly-like, you know.
They usually are.
She says, I am not a dragon. Out of my infirmary. And she closes the door. And he goes, well, I'm convinced. Shall we continue sloshing back some ales? And the guy that was in the cast goes, it's only 2:00. And he goes, best time to be drinking then.
Well, I guess I threw enough chairs at dragons today. Let's get drunk, George.
Yeah, you're a brave dwarf. I mean, who'd throw a chair at a dragon? And he sits down back at the fresh flask, orders a fresh round of ales, and begins to tell you stories of a famous pirate captain called Bill Cutter. And he goes, Yar, Bill Cutter's a deep one. You ever heard of deep ones? They don't rightly come over to the Empire, because I hear you crush up their stones, and you drink them in soup for virility.
They do that here?
Yeah, what?
What? Did they do that here? They crush bones?
Yeah, here they crush their stones, you know, the balls. Stones!
They crush their balls?
You don't tell me you've never heard of that. Spears and stones, dick on balls.
I have not. To be honest, I wasn't really listening to your story. I was thinking whether or not I could get a dragon-slaying chair.
No, you don't need a dragon-slaying chair. I tell you that we should contact Bill Cutter, best, fiercest pirate around. I know the old chap. He's a deep one, like I said, so you wouldn't find him around the old Mokhul waters. But he's got 16 cannons aside, enough to blow any dragon out of the sky.
I did threaten to shoot a cannon at her house.
He used to be a important magistrate in the Atlantean Republic, but let's just say they didn't agree with his more orthodox ways.
Do his orthodox ways involve slaying dragons?
Well, pretty much slaying anyone that comes across his path. He's a born and bred pirate, you know. A deck rat.
And he would help us.
Kind of. He'd more than like steal your ship and tie chains to you, throwing you overboard. But, like I said, old Georgie here knows this pirate.
I also don't own a ship, so he can't steal it.
Yeah, I heard that Macro was telling me that you guys had a ship.
What did they do while I was watching the infirmary?
Well, that was last night while we were in our cups. You said that you had commandeered a ship.
Oh yeah, we kind of attempted to steal a boat that belonged to a rebellion.
Yes, you said that it just had a hole and it just needed patching up. But that's what a bosun's for. Oh, he looks around the tavern and he goes, oh, I'm getting excited, ma'am. We should start looking for a crew.
Yes, George, come on.
But I don't actually have... Well, I kind of do. Like, yeah, sure.
You know where we should go?
To the bar where I met you?
Yes! Yes! He gets like, you got it! And he sees very drunk and excited. Bastet's Blade! Yeah, in Newtown we'll find many, many men like me willing to join a ship.
Sure, maybe we'll find a ship. Gwendeth says it's really quiet.
We've got a ship!
We don't not have a ship.
No!
That's true. Anyway, Bastet's Blade we go. And he gets an ale keg to take away so you guys can drink in the carriage on the way there, because it's like a 30-minute carriage ride.
I return the chair. I go with him.
The Triton woman's like, thanks. I mean, I saw you throw it, but...
Is it broken?
No.
Perfect condition chair.
It's only because I buy expensive chairs. Anyway, your rooms are still here, so I guess I'll be seeing you tonight.
George is in a bad state. He screamed at the dragon. I don't know.
Okay. And she's like, have a good day.
I also screamed at the dragon and threw a chair at her.
I heard.
It really didn't break. It's a good chair. I'll take it back at some point.
Alright, so you begin to head towards the Bastard's Blade. And then we go over to...
Once I've got a ship, that chair's going on my ship.
Alright, there's Macra. As you walk out of the Grand Obelisk, you see Chester walking, actually kind of like, you know, I guess Chester, you look, it's not slightly lost, but you're just looking around for this silver tower.
Definitely dishevelled.
Mm-hmm. So you see Macra, you definitely see Chester, and Chester, you do see Macra with his children.
Ah, Macra, aboard.
Where have you been, you little shit?
Ah, alas, sleeping off the most devilish of hangovers. I'm awake now, though. 1 month later.
What else did you end up nicking whilst you were there? What have you got?
Nicking? What?
You ended up with a flask of endless liquor, which seems to be quite useful. What else did you get? I nicked these back off you.
What ho? I'll look around and I'll spot the alchemy jug on my belt. Ah, so I do. Perhaps I could use
Keep
this.
looking, what else have you got?
Nothing of worth, I'm afraid. That's a shame. Anyway, you all alluding to the fact that those were once mine. I'm sure they'll fit you better, sir.
Yeah,
What have I missed?
You already do. Right, we're going to find Ironblood.
Ah, alas, I cannot. I have an unavoidable detention, as it were. I'm looking for the Silver Tower. Do you know it?
Yeah, go on. Kids, you want to go to Silver Tower?
Yay!
I've just got one in each hand.
Ah, good to see you.
They seem to have...
Oh, I know it's a great idea. Why don't we play Chester Deck as a donkey? I'll get one of them and put one on his shoulders.
Ah,
And the other one and make it cling onto his back.
a fond childhood game. What ho, children, this way? Oh.
I'll slap his ass.
They do seem...
Go, donkey, go!
They do seem to be much happier now that Chester's around, you know, with his bright colours and his cheerful attitude.
As I'm walking off, I was like, I've never told you the tale of when your dad wet his pants. Ah,
Oh, no, Fixu's like, please do tell.
excellent.
Please do tell.
Fantastic. Well, it was in a dark cavern. We were facing off against Del Fuego La Arachna. Keep walking down the road.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so the Silver Tower is about 5 minutes away from this. It's on one of the corners with a small stream trickling by, a small canal. It's got a nice kind of garden of tall palms, and it's a very expensive inn, only available to the God King's guests and important nobles. And as you walk up to the door, Chester, Darioso stands in your way and goes, "Oh, you."
Hello.
Yeah.
Chester Decker. Perhaps you've heard of me. Of course you have.
Yeah, when you persuaded me to run out the arena.
Oh, that was me.
Nods.
Ah,
No, you
sometimes
cheated.
I'm not in control of my own actions, good sir. But alas,
Fuck's sake.
no, no hard water under the bridge and all that.
No. Come on.
I'm sure next year you shall regain your title.
We hopefully won't be here next year. In the sandpit.
Ah, truly sad, truly sad. I'll keep it warm for you, shall I? I'll pat him on the shoulder.
Yeah, come on in. And he looks towards Macron and he says, "Well met." And goes to shake your hand.
I'll shake it back.
Are these your kiddies?
Uh-huh.
He goes,
Me, thanks, sir.
immediately, kind of like, "Hi, my name is Darioso." And he goes to shake their hands and he's like, massive ham hock hands, shake their hands. And as he goes to shake Mimu's hand, Mimu says, "I saw you get defeated by Chester," and then just walks straight past him.
Good. Keep that up, and I'll slip a silver piece into her hand.
Oh! She goes, I could buy lots of candies with this. And Fixu says, don't worry, Dario, so I cheered for you. And he goes, thank you, miss. Says, he kind of cheated, didn't he? And you see Darioso go, yeah, I know, right? And they Fixu and Darioso walk into the Silver Tower while talking about how Chester cheated using persuasive magics.
You get a coal.
You get a coal. And as you walk in, the receptionist looks like a stuffy, bookish man, and he stands there and looks down his glasses and says, yes, she will see you in the common rooms.
Excellent. And now, or later? I don't mind.
No, it's now. And Darioso leads you through gossamer curtains into a massive kind of chamber that's kind of pillared. Like, there's 6 pillars holding it up. And between these pillars are thick silk curtains that, kind of cut people off in their own private chambers. And you see Amelie Tinkerton sits on a wicker kind of, throne in the top left. And there are pillows, dozens of them, surrounding a glass low table with a hookah pipe in the centre. And you can see that she leans in, takes a smoke, and then leans back while blowing out rings as you guys approach. And she says, thank you, Darioso. Would you care to take an eye out, please? He says, of course, mistress. And puts the curtains down, so you guys are now trapped in here. And as he stands outside, you can just see his, massive shadow as he stands guard. And, Macro, as you're led in, and your children, they go, ooh! Amelie's eyes immediately fall upon Mimu, and her eyes go momentarily wide. You can't help see the shock on her face. And as she regains some sort of political composure, like a politician's composure, a mask just goes straight over, and she goes, sit down. It's a pleasure to meet you, Macro.
Yeah, pleasure. Have you met Fixer and Mimu before?
She immediately goes over to Mimu and goes, it's a pleasure to meet you, Mimu. We've not been acquainted. And Mimu's like, it's a pleasure to meet you. Wait, you're Amelie Tinkerton. And she goes, I am. And she says, I saw you in one of my dreams. And Amelie's like, oh, did you? Oh. We'll talk about it another time, Mimu. I must talk with Chester here and your father. She opens the curtain and says, Darioso, could you please do me a favour and see the children to the, the gardens? And if that's okay with you, Macro.
I guess.
And Darioso goes, come on, I'll show you the gardens. And they kind of, run off with him. And he's like, oh. And as he runs, he's such a heavy guy that you can hear poof, poof, poof. And Amelie sits in the back of her wicker chair. Chester.
I'll fall into a very, very deep bow.
I thought you were dead.
Well, apologies, my lady.
Imagine my surprise when I come here to watch the arena and I see you in it.
As you can imagine, my travels have taken me quite far.
Our parents had business deals.
They did.
It's a tragedy what happened to them.
That it was.
It seems tragedies follow you around lately. I mean that in no way ill. I just mean that you must be exhausted.
It is tiring work, but none for which there appears an end at this point in time.
You are among friends. You do not need to keep up this jungler's farce.
Of course. Yes, I forget myself. You are, of course, an imposing stature, and I have nothing but respect for your family.
If you wish to keep up the farce in front of your friend here, then fine. He does not. He shakes her head.
I'll thump him in the arm. What's going on about?
Oh, well, fuck, all right. Well, I don't know. What do you want from me?
Piss me, sound more common than me.
Hanging around in the wrong places.
When I saw you, Chester, I immediately needed to tell you, but I couldn't just approach you, especially when I'm in the middle of a diplomatic mission. I wanted to tell you that she's been moved to the ancient libraries, the arcane observatories.
You have no goddamn right to do that. Sorry, I forget.
We're trying to help. My family are trying to help.
I know.
Couldn't just leave her on your estate.
How'd you do that?
Do what?
How'd you move her?
Turns out the material encasing her only goes certain depth.
All right, that's good to know, I guess.
I'm
So she's safer there, yeah?
Yes, of course, from prying eyes. And we got the best wizards working around the clock to try to solve the mystery.
Good.
I mean, we
good.
know who she is. It's difficult.
I presume you know what I'm out to do.
I do not, but I can presume and guess that you are here to solve the whole problem.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
You came to one of the most ancient empires thinking they had the most ancient magics, I'm assuming.
Makes sense, doesn't it? Seems like I'm, getting there one step at a time.
I've come here looking for somebody as well.
And who's that then?
And she turns to Macron, turns to you and says, I'm looking for a seer. This diplomatic mission is just a side job. The Parliament is looking for a seer. There are many futures where Bretonia gets destroyed by the Mokhul Empire.
What the fuck?
She nods.
I don't get... Oh... It's like, is it just like complete, like, kind of space out moment? So, the bloke earlier,
The bloke, you mean Vivian Buckhorn?
and what he was asking.
She, but yes.
What? Oh no, the man, the bloke, the Inquisitor guy.
She goes, what Inquisitor guy? She has no clue about the Inquisitor guy.
Ah, never mind. Don't worry.
She goes, no, Chester.
I'm good. I'm just putting the pieces together, you know.
You were approached by an Inquisitor.
Oh yeah, but someone like me all the time. I mean, sorry.
But was it Hassim?
Yeah, bloke with the funny teeth. Got blinded.
He's getting closer.
I think he might be. And he was asking about something as well.
Was he asking about Makrar's daughter, perchance?
What? No. He was asking about people that might know, glimpses of the future. I don't know where she comes into it.
I'm going to put my arm around Chester and sort of squeezing his shoulder very gently.
Right, mate. Calm down. I know it's an emotional moment. But he's
Squeeze a little bit harder.
So this bloke comes over.
Yeah.
Nice grapes. Good cheese. He basically... he basically comes over and he says, I'm looking for people that can, some sort of recruitment drive. I'm looking for people that can see into the future. Well, this is my shot in it. I can get into some of the more restricted areas of the city. This is what I'm doing. And I'm not being funny, but that's what I'm here for. And I'm not going to let any of that shit get in the way. So, I tell him, one of my mates, and is this kind of true? He occasionally has the heads up on things. But,
you told him about Makrar.
Yeah, but not anything about his daughter. I didn't know anything about that, did I?
Squeeze his arm really hard around about now.
Luckily,
Alright, I know you like me, but...
I know that Hassim Gravewarden is a bit of a dullard, and he had already investigated Makrar and found that there was nothing wrong with him.
Good. No harm then. I carefully remove Macraw's hand. No harm done.
Yeah, you ain't moving shit.
Yeah.
You've definitely divulged more than this. What else did you say to him?
Actually, that was it. For once, I'm being truthful.
I'm just going to knock him off his chair slightly.
Fall off the...
Not enough to send him flying, but enough to probably make him wobble on it.
Jesus Christ, mate. What do you want from me? That was it. That's all I said. I'd probably tell you if I fucked it up. But I'll tell you this for free. If I didn't want you to know, you wouldn't.
Why'd you tell him anything?
Well, that's kind of my business, isn't it, really? But put it this way. There's something I want, and I won't stop at anything to get it. I tell you what. I can tell you this. If it's something to do with your daughter, consider me out. There are certain lines even I won't cross.
Right. She says, I'm going to be honest here, Makra. absolutely no idea that you were going to be here today, but it feels like fate. Like, literally, even as Liam, I had no clue that you'd meet up with Chester and end up at this meeting. That was just a weird stroke of fate. And she says, I don't know if you've noticed, but it's obvious that your daughter's abilities put her in harm's way here in the Empire. Now,
Clearly.
she puts her hands up and says, my parliament wants a seer. My mission is to take the seer. Not hurt her, take her home. I do not want to do that. Since I've arrived in Mokhul, I've been in contact with an elvish woman and a bugbear woman with a limp. And then she goes silent. She says, both of them work for the elf. And they told me where to find the seer's new apprentice. I hope you figured out by now, Makra, that that is your daughter. She is to be given to the seer for safety. I do not want any harm to come to your daughter, and I've seen a future where peace can be attained when nobody uses a seer, for ill or for good.
Kiss my stones and call me grandma.
She handed me this, and she reaches into a pouch, brings out a card, and as she turns it round, Makra, there's a moving image of you, and at the name, the name is the Broken Veteran. And you see it's got and she's got an emerald in the middle of the card, and then she turns it round, puts it in. It says, your card's not finished. You paint them.
I'll pull out this fucking gemstone that I've got it wrapped in paper and drop that on the table.
She's already beginning. She doesn't even know what she's doing, yet she's starting the process. Your daughter's safety would be paramount and be better if she was taken to Port Phobos and be given to the seer to start her term.
She isn't leaving my side. That's the only issue we've got here. Your mission now changed. Your mission is to make this in a way that it works where we're all staying together. This seer sounds like she can move around a bit for now until she's trained and she's come of age.
The seer is an old elf. She's been around before the Shattering. I'm sorry, I believe your people called it something different. The Sundering, Ragnarok, whatever. She's dying.
Where would she be kept?
Port Phobos.
You can't guarantee her safety there.
The seer can.
We'll go pay the seer a visit before anything.
And the seer's first guardian can.
We'll be paying him a visit either way. Then I'll make a decision.
That's fine. If you're her father. Port Phobos, I'm assuming you know, is take a boat, some week's journey.
We're planning on leaving the city soon anyway. I just need
That's good. Before the
herd the rest of this. Herd a cat.
And she leans forward and puts 2 rings on the table. Like she literally takes them off of her little finger, one for Chester, and takes one off of her middle finger for your little finger, because how big they are. And they've got like a small diamond in. And then she goes, you should wear these.
I try to put it on and it's just getting like to my first knuckle.
If not, it would be best if you gave it to your daughter on a necklace. Made her wear it continuously. That ring is a spell of non-detection on it.
I'll take the one off Chester and I'll make a necklace for me, and then I'll make another necklace for my daughter. This fucker doesn't need one.
Look, I'm here to help, okay? There's always been brewing tensions between this empire and mine. We do not want a war. But if there is to be a war, we don't want to lose.
Mokhul and Mokhul Empire's and all it's cracked up to be anyway. Right. Let's go gather everyone else. I'm sure you can obtain us some passage to Port Phobos then, yeah?
Amelie says, I've come to hear that you guys have pleased the God King and will be receiving a ship soon.
I'll just look at fucking Chester.
Oh, don't look at me, I don't know what's going on.
I'll just look back at it. That'll probably do then, yeah.
Must have been Gwendeth then who's gotten the boat.
And then Chester, Amelie leans forward and hands you a scroll. It's small, and she says, "This, Chester, is old sunken city. May help you."
Right, you are. Thank you.
It gives you. It's a set of naval charts.
Nice. I'll have a quick peruse through.
Yeah, it's precise locations just west of the Million Islands. That's some abandoned, sunken cities of ancient civilizations.
That could be just what the doctor ordered. Oh, thank you. I'll know as soon as I return. So let's hope this mess ends up quickly. As soon as I return, we'll continue our business arrangements between our families.
Of course, and you and Chad and the rest of your family have always been entertainers in the city, keeping people happy. And Longinier has fallen upon a bit of a depression lately, especially with the fires and the second rising of the Gold Queen.
Longinier isn't easily fooled. As soon as I can smile wryly again, I'll return and do my job.
The death of the Atlantean magistrate Ovnir, of course, has put relations at test there as well.
Oh, I bet it has.
Chad and his father was well liked and kept the peace between all the nations. She stands and says, "You should probably go help and prepare to leave Macro."
I'll get her up and give her a nod and start walking out.
Mm-hmm.
Right then. Well, thank you. I don't suppose you know when we're likely to leave, do you?
The God King said the ship would be ready by the end of the week.
Right, that gives me a week. Good.
I was there when your friend, Master Ironblood, said that it was quite funny actually. He said to the God King's face, "This city is no longer my own," when he was a citizen in it. The God King wears a mask, but behind his mask I could feel like he was embarrassed or offended. It was quite funny.
Brave as a giant bull's bollock, that one. Alright. Well, I'll see you in a bit. I've got a meeting with the God King myself, actually.
Oh, really?
Well, I've got to cash in on some form of shit that I've just pulled.
Oh, good luck to you.
Anyway, let's hope I'll be home soon.
She nods and goes to give you a warrior's handshake, the whole wrist slap.
And then the eagle sound. Peely!
She actually giggles and laughs at that.
Right. See ya.
Have a good day. Alright. As you guys leave, we're going to go over to Arne with Grildar. So you're finished in the mansion. You've got your stuff packed.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to ask Adrian one more thing. Are you stopping to pick up Grildar, or are you just going straight to Bastet's Blade?
Well, Gwendeth is now drunk, and there's a drunk captain with me.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we're just on a tour to recruit random pirates at this point.
Alright, so we'll just go over to Arne and see what he's doing.
What do I reckon is the time until the ship's ready?
The God King had said by the end of the week.
End of the week, okay.
Yeah. You got 5 days.
Yeah, I want to go and pay a visit to the university, actually.
Alright, so you pay a visit to the university, and you notice that the person that usually sits behind the desk isn't there, now replaced with a human male with a glorious walrus moustache and a bald, shining head.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Who might you be?
And you see he's pale-skinned, or for someone from the Mokhul Empire, from a Nerian, and as he speaks, you realise he's got kind of a Bretonian/Atlantean accent. I am the new clerk. You can call me Jack.
Jack, very well. Have you seen your Jacida lately?
Oh, she's gone missing, friend.
And have any resources been dedicated to finding her, perhaps?
Oh, yes, the Bloodhounds and the The well, whatever you call your police force, they are currently engaged in the search. And the Council of Erudites are already voting for somebody to take her place for in the meanwhile. That's all.
Yes, that's all well and good, but shouldn't you be searching for her perhaps with some more magical means?
I believe they've tried scrying Master Ironblood, and to no avail.
You know my name.
Everybody knows your name.
Why?
Well, your songs are being sung.
Have we met?
No.
And I'll just scratch my head.
He goes, I heard a song, an ale song about you last night. Well, he points towards your shield, which actually has your father's coal shield.
Yeah.
Insignia, and he goes, I just recognise the armaments, sir.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I suppose so.
And
well,
friends of Sashida, I put 2 and 2 together.
Very well.
Can I help you?
Perhaps. Friend of mine went missing roughly around the same time as Sashida did. Well, not sure if missing is the right word, but haven't heard from him. Perhaps you know of him, Lantix?
Master Lantix has indeed left a message.
And what does this message say?
He goes, the old clerk filed this, and he's opening some drawers, and he goes, I think this is it. He hands up a small slip of paper.
Mm-hmm. I'll open it up.
Yeah. Says studying cards on Hunter's Island.
I just sighed deeply.
Yeah, and it's got ... Never left.
I'll just send a cryptogram to Lantix saying you twat.
Fair enough.
And then leave the university.
Yep.
And then I'll send a cryptogram to to Gwendeth and say meet Est. Meet at estate.
Meet Est. Okay, yeah. So, Gwendeth gets this message. Does she understand it as you're drunkenly riding down the main thoroughfare towards Newtown? And George is like, Yari, you've gone all glazed over for a second.
I was thinking about dragons and chairs. So, do you know any of these people specifically, or are we just asking anyone?
You just got a cryptogram go, hit you. And it said, meet Est.
I don't get it.
Yari, perhaps it means meet estimates. Yari.
Meet estimated.
Did you just get word from the gods?
No, the gods don't really talk to me.
No, but they might have started. You threw a chair at a dragon. It's glorious.
Oh my god. I always knew Destiny would catch up to me.
Yar. I'm the captain, though.
Oh, you can be the captain. I don't know shit about boats.
Yar.
So, dude, how many people do you need for a boat?
Depends on the size of the ship.
And how much do you pay them?
Makra was saying that we're getting a ship and all relied on Grildar. Perhaps we should message Grildar. Ask if the ship is a certain.
How do you message someone?
Well, you... Boy! And the slave in his rat kind of diaper-like undies turns and goes, yes, sir? And he goes, how do we send a message in this city? And he says, you can write it and get a runner, or you can send a message via the temples.
Or tie it to an arrow and shoot it. I'll have another ale, please.
And George picks up the keg and just pours it into your cup. And the slave says, I could take you if you wish.
You want to carry me and then I give them the message?
No, I will take you in the wagon.
Ah, that makes much more sense. Yes.
Where are we going, ma'am?
To where he lives.
Where is where he lives?
Can you give me another ale for thinking help?
Yar, yar.
He's like a famous dude.
The God King?
No, not the God. Is he the only famous person you know?
No, Chester Decker?
No,
Let's
he's like
go.
he's a dwarf.
Yar, he's a Master Ironblood.
Oh yes, Ironblood is. I knew
And
it was something really dwarfy.
The slave says, "Oh, the Ironblood estate, of course," and just kind of veers to the left and begins approaching the Indalai Valley from that side.
Brave Cleaver, you start recruiting. I'll be right back.
No, he's like, "Yar, I'm in the same wagon, Gwendeth.
Oh, you didn't get off?
Oh, would you like me to?"
No, you have the alcohol.
Yeah, I mean, I don't feel like walking with this, and he's got like a 2-foot tall keg.
He'll be so happy to see me.
Yar, he would, and I could get some fine wine from that establishment that he calls a home. Okay,
He
so
doesn't.
yeah, it's a Grildar. As you reach back to the estate, you see Tazia is entertaining George Wavecleaver and Gwendeth with bottles of wine. And
I
she's like,
kind of hope there's like a Jindal-sized handprint on one of their faces.
no, Jendel seems to be absent at the moment. And as you walk in, Randall, with his
good
hands
for her.
behind his back, stands by one of the doors and he goes, "I'm glad you're home, sir. Your friends have arrived."
Grilda!
Well, did you get them to this point?
Are you talking to me, brother?
No, I was talking to Randall.
Randall says, "No." Tazria let them in and began using the newfound stores of wine and grapes and feeding them and drinking them.
I'll make note of that, Tazria.
That's okay, brother. You can make note of what you will.
Yes, I'll let Jindal sort you out.
Yeah, when you're gone, I'll drink all the wine that I want.
I'll just shake my head at her and just I'll pull Gwyneth off to the side away from Wavecleaver.
Mm-hmm. And Wavecleaver's like, "Yar." That's as usual.
He's been saying Jarl a lot. I think it's because he's a pirate.
That's surprisingly sober observation for your current state.
Girl, this is very important. And I want you to listen to every word I'm saying right now. I threw a chair at a dragon. I know what you're thinking. Where did Gwendeth get a chair? I rented it from a bar, and then I threw it at the dragon after she asked me not to throw the chair at her. Also, she has a secret staircase behind her infirmary, which I think is more important. Let's go
He's
check
just
it
sitting
out.
there waiting.
Yeah, and you hear George Wavecleaver, "Grildar!
moment.
Macro... Oh, yar. Just sits back down.
I told him about the boat we totally have.
Gwyneth, could you perhaps close your mouth for a while and listen? And say, well, it will be some time, but we should make preparations to gather a crew. We'll be leaving in about a week's time.
Leaving on what?
What does one usually gather a crew for?
Yeah, but I thought I thought I was just lying to Wavecleaver about the boat.
Does Wavecleaver hear this in the background?
He does not. He does not at all.
Aw. What do you mean you thought you were lying?
We didn't steal the boat, did we? They took it.
Yes. What's your point?
What did we gather the crew for?
For a boat. But Gwyneth, sometimes I really think you're as thick as it can be.
I feel like you're omitting very important information here.
And what information is that?
Where the boat comes from.
Did I not plainly say to you that the Empire would reward us for our actions?
I need more thinking juice.
Never mind. No, I'll just walk over to Wave Cleaver because this conversation.
Am I under assumption that you have been rewarded a ship, a schooner, or a sloop?
Something of the sort, yes.
You see slur in his words. Well, we were on our way to recruit a crew.
Yes, interestingly enough, that was for a fake ship until now. And I'll like glare at over my
I
shoulder.
see. Well, I guess this ship would be needing some sort of captain, yar. And he kind of winks at you and he says, "Of course, it's your ship, but I will captain it. I need your name."
I already hired Wave Cleaver.
And I'll just like narrow my eyes at the two of them.
Yar, I'm a good captain.
He let me shoot his cannon once.
Yar, please don't mention that.
I'll think for a moment, just stand there with my hands on my hips.
Yeah, he goes, I see you've got a thinking man's pose, and he does a...
Gwendeth also does like a thinking pose.
I'll run like a mutiny at sea scenario by him and see how he responds.
Okay, what do you run by him?
Well, the scenario where there would be mutiny at sea, I want to see how he would deal with it, basically.
Yeah, a mutiny? Well, by the time you got to a mutiny, my friend, you're already too far gone.
And what would you do to prevent it in that case?
Well, I've only ever been in one mutiny. That was the one that I led.
And what did your captain fail to do to prevent it from happening?
Yeah, well, the captain was a bit of a coward, and he kept passing up any ship we came across because of a previous battle where we nearly lost our lives. Anyway, 7 ships gone by, no pay, no supplies, running swiftly out of water. He wanted to head all the way back to Atlantia. The crew grumbled bits. I fostered their hatred of the captain. It was all done.
He's a proper pirate.
Yeah, but with your ship, you will all be important members of said ship. Bosun, quartermaster, navigator. It's hard to foster
You
a
understand this will not be a pirate crew, yes?
Well, of course, but it's hard to foster a mutiny when all the leaders are under one mind.
Very well. I will need some form of collateral.
Yeah, all my treasure is hundreds of feet under the waves.
I pay any collateral for Wave Cleaver.
As I said, I'm going to need some form of collateral.
You know, he goes, you know what? I went on the straight and narrow after that. Our ship became a mercantile ship. I haven't been a pirate for 7 years, friend.
Very well. What are your experiences sailing the oceans?
Well, I've travelled supplies between the Million Islands, the Rexland Empire, the Bretonian cities, and also the island states of many other natives. I've also sailed between Mokhul and Atlantia and Bretonia several times in my career.
Yeah, and I think this conversation goes on for like another hour.
In between, Gwendeth just throws in random words.
Yeah, and he goes, we've also had our fair share of scrapes, of course, and I know how to handle a ship at combat.
Like a dragon attack.
Yeah, we'd probably need mortars for that, but yeah. Says, I know that your ship will probably have Mokhul-style weapons, but do not fret. In the meantime, we can sail to a place that will sell decent naval weaponry. Let's get some cannons, some mortars.
Gwendeth like sobers up for a second, takes off a hat, takes out a little note, and writes down, "Get mortars."
Yeah, we'll get a few
Puts that back.
8-pounders up on the stern castle.
Your
Because
suggestions are welcome, but they will be reviewed. And good job, Curtis. You're muted.
He's muted, yeah. Like, I can't hear him.
Yep, still muted.
He's like
Don't
talking.
mute
Okay.
it, Curtis.
Sorry.
No, not you. I
Not
meant
you.
Yeah, Curtis
I'm
is
talking
muted.
about Curtis.
Yeah, he's talking.
Oh,
But he's not muted.
It's just unplugged his microphone.
I thought I heard Curtis. I thought they can't be talking about me, surely.
Well, he fixes that.
Yeah, so just getting the ship sorted out. I'll tell the kind of crew that I want Wave Cleaver to get. They're reliable, not too fussy, but they'll be relatively well paid for the job that they'll be doing. And somewhat bikers. Somewhat reliable, preferably either in actual sailing, or if not, I'd rather have reliable ex-soldiers, for example, something of the sort, rather than like pirates. No offense to
I gotcha.
Yeah, I'll put out a few messages here and there to my old army contacts as well, and see if anything comes up.
Okay. He says, well, me and the lady here are off to the Bastard's Blade to search.
I'm friends with like all the patrons there.
Well, you were until the last ship.
Let it be understood that there will be no drinking of this magnitude on board.
I haven't had anything.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you, Grildar. Where I come from, it's customary to have a fifth of gin or a cup of strong ale with your evening meal. It keeps morale in right order.
As I said, not of this magnitude.
Ah, yes, of course, except for the
I just glance over at the barrel.
It's almost empty, and I bought it almost empty.
I'll just shake my head at him in disbelief and bid him a good night.
Yeah, he leaves with Gwendeth.
And the barrel.
Yeah. And you guys head towards the Bastard's Blade. Okay, so
Yes.
Macra and Chester, what are you doing?
Well, I presume that Macra is going to go and grab his daughter, so I'm going to make a hasty exit and once again, one last time, try my hand at the House of Answers.
Alright, so you walk up towards the House of Answers. We'll skip to that, and the Inquisition, as you approach, don't block your path.
Excellent.
You do have tons of, dozens of these animal mask faces just staring at you as you walk past. And in the hall in the front, it's very stark in here, very greystone, prison-like. You see Hassim standing by the desk talking with the clerk. And he turns, he goes, my friend, Chester Decker.
Oh, good man. It's been too long. What is it, 3 hours? Anyway.
Yes.
I was wondering if I could, cash in. It turns out I'm rather short on time, pressing matters and all. Could you be a dear and see if I could potentially raid some form of restricted archive, on our little page I was looking on?
What are you after, friend?
Old magic, my friend. Things by the like of other, most dreadfully new and uncultured empires wouldn't have the like of.
I'm going to be honest to you. This place, in the Mokhul Empire, does not have access to ancient magic such as this, friend. But we do have access to ancient maps. That kind of...
would you mind me perusing?
What do you after? Monoliths?
If that would help.
Follow me. And he leads you down one side corridor. And as you do, there are cells lining the walls. And he heads to the end. And in either of the cells, you begin to recognize some of the people. They're all beaten, battered, bruised, tortured. You see the sailing crew of the ship that you guys were liberating, part of the rebellion.
Love what you've done with the place.
Yes, they are traitors. They hang tomorrow. And he leads you towards a set of stairs at the far side that goes deeper and deeper under the ground, and it begins to get cooler and cooler. And as you get to the bottom, it's getting near pitch black, so you can't really see much. And in front of you, Hassim brings his hand up, casts a light spell, leading you deep into the dank basements of the House of Answers. And then once you get to the bottom, there's a trapdoor which he unlocks with a set of keys, opens it, and gestures you to go in first.
Thank you.
No problem.
Gracious.
And he comes in down the wooden stairs after you. The wooden stairs creak into this darkness. Rafters split the room kind of all the way down. It's a huge hall. And you kind of have to duck beneath them, but there are hundreds of stored scrolls and tomes. And he says, over here, friend. And he leads you down one aisle to the far end and opens up a cabinet with another key where you see tons and tons of thick tomes, leather-bound tomes, in like some sort of order. He says, and he brings out one and puts it on a nearby table. Dust goes flying everywhere, and he says, opens it up. This does detail pre-shattering monoliths.
Excellent. Most excellent. Thank you, my friend. May I have a look?
Of course. And then he puts the light spell onto a nearby torch, and it lights up the area around you. And he says, "Take your time. I leave the trapdoor open." And he leaves. But you notice he's only unlocked this cabinet. The rest are all still locked.
Excellent. Thank you. Good. And I will look deeply.
Okie dokie. All right, can you make me an investigation check, sir?
Yeah, please, can I? Chester? Goddamn character sheet.
Alright.
Come on,
13.
for God's sake.
Okay, so as you are reading this and taking in, it takes you maybe 30 minutes before you find something you recognise. And I'm loading up my notes, so just give me a second.
Ah,
Okay, so you find a place with a diagram, and it explains the way to a tomb.
ooh,
At the bottom, it does have a short description of a floor made of a material called mithil.
oh fuck me sideways. Thank fuck I came. I'll start having if I've got my notebook on me, I'll just jot down as much as I can.
You've been jotting down as much as you can, copying the diagram.
Is there any location or anything like that?
Yes. It says... I'm going to go back to the world map for a second. In the Yellow Sea, in the shadows of Rail's Peak.
Oh,
You want to write that down?
yeah, I'm just going to write it on my character sheet. Hang on. Good fuck. Yeah. All right. Cool. 2 plates. What a productive day. And I'll spend my time just making sure I'm not going to miss anything in this book.
Yep, and you notice the place that's been noted down was an explorer from the city of Mokhul 350 years ago. He called it the Tomb of Mistra.
Well, fuck my mouth. Sorry, what did you call the location again? I'll just write it down.
In the Yellow Sea, in the shadows of Rail's Peak.
Okay, all right. Calm down, Chester. Jesus Christ. Just frequently kind of like, fine, fuck, how do I get these guys to... okay. Does it mention that did he say it was a monolith?
He said it was a monolith, yeah.
So I'd know that we'd need a license to hunt for it.
If people knew about it, yeah.
Okay, right, don't panic. Calm. All right. I'll shut the book, I'll replace it, and I'll get out as fast as I can.
Okay.
Done. Jot. And I will head back to see if I can find Macra, because I'm fully aware that I ditched him.
Yep. Okay, so you noted down it had a floor of mithil, and was said to be the Tomb of Mistra.
He would have seen the word Mistra, and would have wet his pants anyway.
Yeah, so you wrote down all these notes quickly, and you go to find Grildar back at the estate, I'm assuming. Alright, so we go over to Macral then.
Yeah, it seemed pretty obvious that he didn't want me with him when he scampered off, so I guess I'm just trying to, as I mentioned before, gather this herd of cats so we can see what we're doing for the future forward. This new ship's pretty intriguing as well, so we won't get the DL on that.
Yeah, so what you doing?
Grildar estate, I imagine. See
Alright.
if I can find him from there.
Alright, so we got Wave Cleaver and Gwendeth heading over to Vastet's Blade, but we have Grildar, Macron, Chester all about to combine at their Ironblood estate, and that's where we're going to take a 10-minute break.
Sound.
posture and my...
Yes, I see it. All right, so I'm going to begin with the trio reuniting at the Ironblood residence. So Chester and Makra and Grildar have all kind of met up at the estate.
Ah, Grildar. Well met. It's been a while.
Yes, pleasantly so.
Clever. Double entendre. But of course, my heart has wept every moment you've been away.
Yes, I'm sure it has. What is your point, Chester? I've had a long day.
Nothing at all. Perhaps you could regale us with the plan, or perhaps Makra could. Sorry, had a couple of errands to run. Yeah.
Well, if you don't mind, I had the liberty of arranging something for you.
Right. And what was that then?
Got rid of your little... What was it? House thing that you had planned. I just didn't think it was a good idea.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Cool. Right. Excuse me. And pray tell, where have my platinum pieces gone?
Well, I think those are gone as well.
Right. You are. And perhaps where can I recover them?
I don't think that's going to be possible, but before you wind yourself any further and embarrass yourself by dropping your accent a few more times, there's something that perhaps you should know. There's
Drop my accent, you little shit.
There's somewhere a little bit closer by here. I thought you might appreciate the environment here a bit more. You did seem to be spending an awful lot of time around the estate anyway.
Ah, right you are. Good God, thank you. What is it? Oh, pray tell.
And I'll explain that it will be arranged for him in due time. Whatever the...
Excellent, most excellent. You are a friend of mine, Grildar. Finally, a house befitting my station.
Yes, not solely for your use, of course, but felt it would be useful to have it in a somewhat more secure and pleasant neighborhood.
Splendid. Well, of course, it'll be better if we could all spend a lot of, cozy time together.
What I was thinking is that, as a matter of fact, if you intend to spend more time here with Tazria, perhaps, then it would also be convenient for me, since I can get away from you to lovebirds.
Ah, good. Yes. Actually, perhaps now's the time to bring something up. It's quite the opposite, actually. I'd quite fancy an adventure, an excursion, if you will. You see, I, perchance, happened upon something. I know we've got a lot going on at the moment, but I don't think some fine adventurers such as yourself can pass up such a brilliant opportunity. No takers? Well, I'll plow ahead. So, an undiscovered monolith. One we wouldn't even need a license for. It's quite splendid, actually. The location's a little hazy, but I'm sure between us we can work it out.
And what would we be doing there?
Well, treasure, of course. Plunder, adventure.
Of what sort?
Well, it's just it. This kind of thing isn't common knowledge. You see, I've plucked this from the depths of some of the highest echelons in the Empire.
Right. And what opposition would we face there?
Ah, no idea. Haven't you got a sense of adventure?
Right, so you don't know where it is.
No.
You don't know what we're going to get there.
No.
You don't know what we're going to find there.
No idea. No. But come on now, Grildar. We face down vampires.
I'm
the arena champion.
Where's Makra?
Well, that could have gone better, I suppose.
Right, obelisk. Yeah, sure. What the fuck about this ship? It seems like we're avoiding the far more important bit of this conversation.
A ship. Yes, that's what we need.
But we need a ship for the obelisk. No, shut up. We have a ship.
Yes.
Well, here's what I see. I'm sure Macra will regale you momentarily with a tale of the finest of things. But we take the ship. We go and see the mystic woman. Oh, you're out of the loop on that one. How rare. And we, afterwards take a detour to this monolith and bathe in riches and glory.
Mystic woman.
Future seer, something.
Say, Mimi goes, yeah, apparently I'm gonna go see somebody who has the same thing I have.
Hopefully they keep. Well, we'll see.
Could you turn me over here a minute?
No, and you see Fixu, by the way, can your passive perception, she rolled very, very low, fuck's sake, your passive perception, Grildar, you see Fixu's walked over the side and she just seems to try to test the dust on the side cabinet and just slides one of the golden candelabras into Jess.
So, she's a rogue. She's a fucking kleptomaniac. For fuck's sake.
And she just walks off and she's kind of hanging half out of her jacket, and then she goes as if she can't carry it. She goes. You just see her kind of put it back on, but a different shelf. Walk off.
Now, Macra, could you join me over here for a moment, and I'll try and get him away from Chester for a minute.
I'll be right there.
Yeah, you passed as well, Macra.
Apparently you can't breathe out of bugbears. Jesus.
Mimu looks at you and goes, I'm not stealing anything, Papa. I'm a good girl.
Yeah, you are.
Mm-hmm.
Macra, in case anything were to go missing, I'm sure Randall would just bill it to you, so you deal with that in your own time.
I'd prefer you deal with it, to be honest, mate. I actually don't know what I'm doing anymore. There was a reason my sister was looking after him. I'm really not. Yeah, I'm not up for that.
And Mimu says, I haven't seen Auntie in some time.
Yeah, we're going to go find her soon. She's knocking around. She's with the woman that's like you, apparently. Working for, I don't know. I'm definitely not quick enough to keep up with you this lot.
You think Auntie's working for the woman?
I think that's why they knew that it's you.
She looks really surprised, and then she says, I still don't know what you're talking about.
Alright, I'll just lean into, or ask Macra to lean into me, basically, because I can't really lean into Macra.
Alright. I'll go down on one.
And then, quietly, so that the girls won't hear, explain a little bit about what happened in the God King's room with with the story of the seer.
Okay, so explains that looks like the God King is after the Seer's apprentice, because the God King and the Seer, when he first started his conquest of the Empire, were at odds, and the Seer would drop important information and tidbits to the Theboans and the Artenians so that they could outmaneuver the God King, and that's why his conquest took 110 years. Because he was continuously fighting the Seer, but he was an unending force, and in the end she basically succeeded and said there's nothing she can do about it, but she did make the God King pay all of the conquests that he attempted to.
Yeah, I got that hint from the...
but the God King mentions that she is dying. Everyone knows that she is dying. The Seer's power is waning. Less cards are being flung free into the world. And those that are about her and her associates are foretelling a young apprentice who shadowed in secrecy, who he noted she would be drawing the future. She would be in her apprentice stages, not knowing what she's doing.
Yeah.
So what did the God King want with her?
I'll explain this to Macra, and I'll explain also the genocidal tendencies that he had. Therefore, me not having revealed Mimu's identity to him.
Yeah.
And, hence also the suggestion of a ship, and that we should probably go and see the Seer and then get out on the ship.
Yeah.
Relatively out of harm's way.
I'll wrap my arm around him and give him a hug with that. And I'll pat on the back. Right then. So the end of the week then, we leave. We need somewhere to keep us safe for now then. I feel like Chester opened his mouth a bit too much than what he should have done. I think they're sniffing around back around me again.
I was quite
now
honest.
you're here.
Not here per se, but the sea has something to do with me.
Very well. So you should be findable then, in case. So as not to arouse too much suspicion until we're ready to leave.
Oh, I've got an idea. We'll have to, yeah. I'll have to stick it with you. I'll say that we'll leave these two with the Gwendeth. And she sounds like she'll be hiding pretty low in the next couple of weeks anyway. Well, the next week or so anyway.
That's an option. I'm sure there'd also be welcome guests here if need be.
Not really out of the way either, that's the only issue. Unless you can keep them under wraps, do you think?
I'm sure that can be arranged.
I'll go grab
Tazria goes, "Oh, I could look after them." Sorry, I was eavesdropping. And she just comes from round the corner, and she's like literally just been standing behind the door.
I'll go grab the kids.
Okay. And she goes, "Oh, hello, kids. You can call me Auntie Tazria."
You're getting a lot of auntie and uncles the last couple of days. You should feel very grateful. And I'll bend down and like, right.
Mimu then goes, "I saw you in a dream." And Tazria looks at her and goes, "Oh, did you now?" And Mimu says, "Yeah, would you like me to tell you all about it?" And she says, "Sure."
I think you'd prefer not to know, to be honest. Right, you stop drawing. No, keep drawing. No. Stop dreaming. No, keep dreaming. Just behave.
Papa, I don't have any crayons or charcoals. And Tazria says, "Don't worry, we've got tons of them." She looks up and goes, "I'll continue drawing then."
Behave. You. I'll take the candelabra out of her hand and pass it to a new caretaker.
She like looks at it and goes, "I was just, it didn't fit that place. I was moving it."
Yeah, and it fit real way better down there. Stop it. You're not bugbears in the wild anymore. You're more civilized, kind of. Behave double extra.
So we're staying here.
Make sure she stops doing that. Yes.
He nods and goes, "In one of the big beds upstairs." And Tazria says, "Of course." And she says, "What, to ourselves?" And Tazria says, "Of course." She says, "That's stupid, I'm tiny."
I don't even want to.
And she goes, "Have you got like a better bed?" And Tazria says, "They're all comfortable." She says, "I don't care about comfortable. It's a waste."
I think the word you're looking for is more suitable. Come on, I thought you were better, educated than me at this point.
No. She goes, "Oh, I hate it. It's too shiny.
What's too shiny?
Everywhere. I want to come with you."
Play outside then. You can't. Right. Being with me is not safe at the moment.
Oh, apparently being away from you isn't either.
Yeah, that's a fair counterpoint. I'm not going to lie with you. You'll be safe here, though. You weren't safe at home. That's why you're not at home. That's why you're here. It's only until the end of the week, anyway.
She looks around. And she says, "Fine. Who are you?"
And then we go on. Right, if you behave.
She pokes Randall clean in the chest, and he's like, "Ugh." Name is Randall, miss. Show me to my chambers.
And I'll grab her cheeks and make it so she's looking at me again, and I'll grab the other one and make sure. If both of you behave.
Vixu says, "It's me that will behave. It's Mimu that won't." Mimu just looks at her with like a brows form of V, and she says,
"Indignation."
Mimu's definitely better behaved than you at the moment. She's definitely got more brownie points than you. But if you both behave and make sure each other behave, and I fully
expect
come up with the words for me. I expect both of you
to behave, says Mimu.
No, to grass on each other.
Make you proud. And then Fixu
grass
says,
on each other. You get more brownie points if you dob in the other one, yeah?
No. And Fixu says, no, snitches get stitches.
You get stitches from me if you don't snitch.
Mimu looks at her and goes, "Yeah, they do." And she just gives her an eye, and Fixu's like,
Right, I'll squeeze the cheeks on her like, you better be snitching on each other. Because if you both behave, so if it's in your benefit to make sure the other one does behave, We
Wait,
go on ship adventures at the end of the week.
Mimu says, so if I snitch on her, I get prizes.
Yes.
She's got 50 gold pieces in her back pocket. She sneaked it from the temple. And you see Fixu look at her like, bitch!
I'll literally bend her over my knee, take out the 50 gold.
And then as you go to reach for a purse, it's empty, and then Fixu just stares at Mimu and goes, yeah, I hid it somewhere not even your fucking future sight could see.
I'll smack her arse for swearing.
Ah! She just looks at her daughter and goes, you fucking snitches get stitches.
And I'll smack her again for swearing again.
Ah! She says I was going to spend half of it on you, but I won't now.
You better spend all of it on here.
Well, I can't.
Or you're not coming on Pirates Adventures.
I'm not allowed to leave the place, so I cannot go get it.
Well, you get it in the end. Do you want to go on Pirates Adventures?
Okay, and she walks over to Chester.
Well, hello.
Chester, can you take off your shoe, please?
Of course, a man is never far from his shoe.
And then she empties about 4 gold pieces out of his shoe, and then says, "Can you give me your other shoe, please, Chester?"
Right you are. Here you are.
And then she empties about 6 out of it. You didn't even feel them. And then she goes, "And I also slipped the other 37 into your purse."
My pass. But well, that's there for me, surely.
Yeah, you didn't think that through, did you? He gets to keep them now because you didn't learn your lesson.
Yeah, but I could just easily steal it from him again, and he would never have noticed.
Not if I beat him up in a minute and take him off him first.
No. A lady is right. And I'll take out 37, not really knowing where it's come from, or whether I'm just getting mugged off. Here you go.
Just so you know, don't negate them from your. She did actually just sneak them into your purse.
Oh, okay. Must feel a little lighter. Still heavier than yours, though, isn't it?
Who's he saying that to?
I'm sorry.
Child.
I looked right at you on the camera when I did that, but I
Really?
realised that doesn't translate.
Yeah.
I was right at that.
Yeah,
And, they're like, fine. Show me to your my chambers. And Randall says, "This way, ma'ams, little missus."
and I'll smack her on the arse again. Manners.
And halfway up the stairs, so you're out of reach, she goes, "Manners!" and just runs off.
Is it wrong to want a javelin of dragons or whatever? I've got your own child.
Yeah.
Dragon King javelin.
Mimu's little body leans over the balustrade and she says, "Don't worry, I will snitch on her."
Good.
And I'll just glance over at Makra and say, "Well, at least for your sorts, puberty only lasts for a couple of years."
I hate kids.
And then I'll look
They're
over.
not even like teens yet.
And I'll look over at Lazria and be like,
Yeah, Lazia just shrugs and says, "I'm going to go find out what she dreamed about."
Yeah, you're really better off not knowing.
Mm.
Right, we've got a week to kill. What are we doing this week?
well, we have preparations to make. Perhaps Jester wants to spend some time here before leaving.
Shit, do we have a crew for this ship?
Well, that's the next scene. We'll get to that in a minute.
And then we snap cut to it.
If Grildar tells you, you could arrive halfway through the process, but I guess he doesn't.
Now, I've got a little idea for that. I could scour the finest taverns and put on a performance of adventure and chivalry, and people will flock to our cause.
That will not be necessary.
I don't want to believe him, but I know he's almost telling the truth. People would actually follow this idiot.
It's when we're 38 and we've got literal thralls.
Mm.
Yeah.
Alright, you guys ready? Are we ready to go over to George and Gwendeth? Alright, so George and Gwendeth, you head into Newtown, following the great chain elevators that lead it up into the Newtown. And as you head towards Bastet's Blade, you see that there are Bretonians, Atlanteans, all kinds of different nationalities like pouring out onto the streets, drinking. The place is kind of a bit filthy, even though it's called Newtown. You walk past a freshly slaughtered kind of like pig corpse where its offal's just been like thrown out onto the street. And then George goes, yo, it's a bit dirtier than I remember. And as you approach the Bastet's Blade, it's got a big placard on top under new management.
Did you know about this, George?
Yeah, know about what?
The new management.
I have not been here in several days.
Then Gwyneth just opens the door.
Yeah, and of course the slave's like, thank you, have a good and a pleasant evening. And as you enter Bastet's Blade, it's that chock full, very small tavern. And you see Bruce, the huge Minotaur, and he says, welcome. Oh, it's Gwendeth. And she kind of...
Oh, is this your tavern now?
No, there's a new master in town, let's just say that. Welcome to Bastet's Blade. And he goes, oi, oi, and shoves some, what looks like frog-like creatures off of a nearby table and says, take a seat. And gives you a seat. And he says, I'm Master Wavecleaver, of course. Can I get you both flagon?
No, you can get, and Gwendeth takes out 20 gold pieces, the whole pub, each a glass.
This is what you did last time. This is why everyone loves you. And around you here, cheers.
And then I want to get on this table, if I'm allowed to.
Sure.
Hello, everyone. I just paid for your drinks. I'm Gwendeth.
They'll cheer.
I'm the last of the Redfoot dwarfs.
Boo.
Boo yourself. We're famous dragon hunters.
No, boo that you're the last one.
Oh yeah, that's very sad, actually. Anyway, I started hunting a dragon 80 years ago. And I sort of ran out of funds, so now I have a boat, and I'm going to earn money with the boat to hunt the dragon, and I need a crew for that. So we're recruiting. Wavecleaver is the captain. You can sign up.
He goes, yar. And you see there's like muttering all among the actual tavern. And they all go, yeah. And George goes, form an orderly line. And people do begin to line up. Alright, and as the drinks are bought, Bruce is like bringing over massive flagons and 20 gold pieces buys like, that's like nearly like 200 flagons.
Gwendeth likes to be liked.
Yeah, like there's about 50 people in the pub, so that's like 4 rounds. So yeah, you're very well liked. And Bruce says, the master of such tavern wishes to thank you for your patronage.
I like what he did with the joint.
Yeah, and you see it's changed much. There's no longer this dark wood presence. It's quite light and airy. Vines hang from the rafters, giving it a kind of pleasant smell that filters through and kind of gets rid of the unpleasant chamber pot urine smell. And the first one in line is a pasty-looking Bretonian. Looks like he may have had scurvy once or twice. He's missing a few teeth. And George goes, yeah, come on and off deck, rat. You're in. And he goes like this until about the 15th man, when a hooded figure sits down. And can you make a perception check, Gwendeth?
Sure. Gwendeth is very perceptive, as we all know. 13.
Yeah, this figure, as he sits down, you can notice there's like a blue tint to the skin. And underneath the hood, he's got a slight yellow amber glow to his eyes. And he goes, hello there. And George goes, yeah, you're willing... And he's like trying to like lean to see under the hood. George basically so drunk he's nearly off his chair trying to like look under.
Gwendeth is like doing the same into the other direction.
He goes, there's no need. I'll divulge any information. And then says, yeah, you're an Atlantean, like myself. And he says, yes. And I think I know what you are. We could do with one of you. And he says, of course. I'm looking to get home eventually, but until then, money. Ain't you taking a risk coming out here? And he goes, yes, but I have the ability to disguise myself at will. And then he takes his hood off, and it's just a human with a beard. And he says, "But of course, this may come in handy for you. I do not request extra pay until you have all seen my skills."
And then you expect extra pay?
Well, when you see my skills, you might reward me.
Sure, whatever. How much?
He
how
leans
much-
in. George leans in and goes, "Yeah, Gwendeth, I think this one might be a deep one."
He sounds like he would murder me in my sleep.
Yeah, well,
Grab his balls.
having a deep one, having a deep one in the crew is good.
Oh, you're the captain. You
Yeah, I'm
pick
just-
whoever you want.
I'm just telling you, they can breathe underwater. They're good scouts.
How much are we paying everyone for a day?
Well, we pay in parts, don't we?
We have not discussed the pay structure, and I'm
Well-
really drunk.
Well, normally the upper echelons of the crew, that's us, get 2 parts, and the rest of the crew get 1.
Oh, yeah. So the bounty, we split it, yeah.
Yeah, it's the best way of doing it.
Oh yeah, sure. If they're all in for that, I thought we had like salaried crew. This is
No,
this is
well,
way
it's
better.
standard to split the fare into parts. Unless you're
Solid porridge crew. Are you fucking off your tits? I guess it is quite enough, to be fair.
All I'm saying is, we could skew it in the ledgers so that we get most parts, of course.
No.
Of course. And he leans into the deep one and says, "What's your name?" He says, "Frank." He says, "Yeah, your name's not Frank, is it? That's not a healthy Atlantean name." And he says, "Frank." He goes, "Welcome aboard, Frank." Just goes to shake his hand. And as he shakes his hand, you notice that his hand goes through his hand momentarily, but then stays there. And then you see that George is looking at his upper arm instead of his hand, and he goes, "Yeah, your arms are tentacles, ain't they?" And he says, "Yes." He goes-
Oh my god, can I touch them?
And he goes to go shake your hand, and you feel this wet sucker-like feeling up your arm.
How good are you at killing dragons?
I have yet to have slain a dragon, although I have met a bronze one.
Oh yeah, you can be on the list for the dragon slaying party as well. You have tentacles. That's amazing.
Yeah, there's a smile, and it's wholly unhuman. The smile. It's kind of like, like if you saw a serial killer smile, like you said, like it's kind of, it's fake, but at the same time you can't help but be convinced by it.
I guess Gwendeth and George just continue recruiting, and once they have the 29 people they need, they just get drunk.
Yeah, but
Because
the
Gwendeth
last
has
guy,
purchased a lot of alcohol.
the last guy that sits down, sits easily in the stool, leaning halfway back, and goes, "What's up?"
Sup?
"Hello, friends." And
Hello.
George just looks at him and goes, "Oh God, it's a Caucasian, Nasian, sorry." And he leans in and goes, "But I am not." And just smiles, and George's like, "What's your name, friend?" "Yeah, what's your name, friend?" There you go. And he goes, "Nathaniel." And he goes, "And your skills?" Nathaniel says, taps the hilt of his rapier and says, "I am a deck-to-deck fighter." And just gives a smile and says, "I've murdered many men in ship battle."
But we're sort of on, more of a trade thingy.
Yes, and
Privateer.
yes, but you'll also come across men that wish to take your stuff, and I am good at defending your stuff.
That's a good point. I do like my stuff.
I like your stuff too. Gives you a wink.
Gwendeth,
Yeah, he
awkwardly winks back.
You notice that this guy is, for a human, he's very handsome. He's got kind of thick blonde hair that kind of always seems to fall in the right place, kind of like Jaime Lannister season 1. And and he's
Gwendeth is quite taken in.
yeah, and he says, "Yeah, so am I in?" And George looks at him and goes, "Yeah, I guess you're in, Nathaniel."
He's super in.
"Is he now?" George looks at you and goes, "Is he?"
Do you not like him?
"I like Nathaniel. He's a good lad." And Nathaniel looks and goes, "Yes, Folds his arms and goes, I'm a great sword fighter.
He's a super good lad, isn't he?
I want to thank you. I want to thank you, Gwendeth, for buying everyone drinks.
Oh yeah, I did that, didn't I? Yeah. I did. We needed people.
Mm-hmm. Bruce looks like he comes over and says, I think that's it, Gwendeth.
Oh.
That's it. There's not much many more lining up.
Oh, well, do we have the 29?
George goes, Yarg, 33.
Oh, that's more than 29. We're good.
Is it? Yeah, it is. Yeah, of course.
Another round on me.
The whole pub goes crazy. And at that moment, you are in... Bruce says, you're spending a lot of gold. You're spending a lot of gold. Do you want to come upstairs and meet the new master? He wishes to thank you in person.
I guess I'll see you later, George.
No, George can come.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, we'll move the party upstairs, George. Bring the keg.
Yeah, he goes to bring the keg, and Bruce says, "No need, Gwendeth." And as you are led up to the second floor, you see there's a dark candlelit room with a nice cherry wood desk at the far side. And as you walk in, there are on the sides of the walls there are these altars, and it looks like there was once busts or something there, but that are no longer there. And there sits a hooded figure at the desk, and he looks really still. And then as he moves, there's a clicking sound, and he puts a bottle on the table. This is for you. And it's an expensive bottle of wine. You are spending quite a lot in my town.
I do like your tavern.
You feel like you see a smile, but you can't see a face.
Gwendeth walks up and holds out her hand. Gwendeth Redfoot, last of the Redfoots.
There's a deep sigh, and then he doesn't reach out to shake your hand.
Oh, I can bow. And Gwendeth nearly falls over because she's shit-faced.
Yeah. This you look like a capable woman, and you look like a capable man.
George is the best captain I know.
He says, I have a job for someone like you.
Oh, wait, is this a legal job?
Yes.
Sure.
The woman that used to own this establishment has fled. I was unable to kill her. Going into the sewers is beneath me. Would be there.
Technically, it says very beneath you. You know, the sewers.
Bring me the head of Lady Obsidian. I will pay you 500 gold pieces.
Okay, we need to go back a bit. Who was Lady Obsidian?
The fucking Medusa that used to own the bar. The one that killed.
Oh yeah.
Fuck it, I'll do it
I
alone.
was hoping that was Gwendeth asking, but apparently it's Adrian asking.
Yeah.
No, Gwendeth asked the same question. Should I know this person?
I need your answer quick before I send other people.
George, do you know this Lady Obsidian? Is she okay to kill? Should I feel bad if I kill her?
He goes, I'm going to be honest here, because I'm brutally honest, because I'm smashed out of my face. She was a bit of a cunt.
Like worth killing cunt, or you wouldn't invite her to your birthday?
Well, I heard that she turned people into stone that she didn't like. You know.
Oh, that's evil. I'll kill her, no problem. I've killed worse. I killed a bugbear. Like an undead one. That's the part that makes it more impressive. I should have said that first. It was an undead bugbear.
A bugbear.
Like as tall as a house.
Yeah.
There's a lot of bugbears, isn't there, in this city? I keep being surprised. Usually we don't. I've never seen so many. So I killed this Lady Obsidian, and what do I get out of it?
500 gold pieces.
Oh, that's a lot of gold pieces. Josh, that's a lot of gold pieces.
Yeah, good start for a crew, I'd say.
But isn't this pre-getting on the boat, George? Like, do I split that as well? Because it's not like that involved boat work.
Yeah, well, George shrugs and says, yeah, do what you want, Gwendeth. I'm assuming you're going to go with your new friends.
Well, I'm not. It's more like half of them are acquaintances. I think like Macra is. It doesn't matter. Yeah, we're doing it. I'll kill this lady for you.
There you see a nod come from this hooded figure.
But I do want to shake on it and then drink on it.
You see there's like a weird sigh come from him. Of course. And as he reaches out, he pushes the bottle, picks it up, fills up his chalice, fills up yours, and then reaches forward and a white gloved hand comes out of the like long wizard robes and gets to shake your hand.
I shake it very enthusiastically.
And then he says, drink. And you notice that he doesn't pick up his chalice.
Hello, Brucey.
She just finishes her chalice and looks at him and is like, "You, for someone who owns a pub, you're not really a party person, are you?"
Not really, no.
You know, we are all sometimes in the wrong line of business. We can't all, just wake up and be a dragon slayer and love dragon slaying.
There's silence from him.
Did you know that I threw a chair at a dragon?
Silence.
Good talk. And Gwendeth walks out.
He nods and says, I would wish it to be done sooner than later.
I think we're leaving in like a week, so I'll make it quick.
Good.
Is this like, do you want a corpse?
Ahead.
I guess that would be the identifying part of Medusa, wouldn't it?
Silence. Acknowledgement, but that's it.
Okay, sure. It's a done deal. We drank on it. I did.
Alright, and as you go to leave, Bruce closed the door behind you and goes, yeah, not much of a party person, but definitely better than Obsidian.
Oh, he's better than Obsidian? I thought this turning people to stone thing was bad, but apparently only...
Up on the balcony, he's like, I gotta be honest, I was shit scared of her. That's why I went and rescued him.
Oh, you rescued this dude?
Yeah, when he got turned to stone, I took him to the temple and paid for his unpetrification.
Oh, so that's why he wants her dead?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense. No, everything makes sense.
Well,
I'll kill her.
He attacked her in the middle of the night a couple of days ago. Nearly got her as well.
Well, it can't be that tough if that party pooper nearly killed her.
Now, you don't understand, he's vicious. She didn't even know what struck her. Not to mention she'd been poisoned.
Well, we're not going to poison her. That sounds like a massive pain.
Well, it does help that, of course, the moment he asked for help, I did pick up my axe and start beating her up too.
Oh, well, Macra has an axe, so it'll be the same strategy. Sans poison and more arrows.
Wait, you know Macra?
Oh yeah, of course I know Macra.
Well, I didn't know that.
Oh, you've met Macra?
Yeah? He came here with Master. A long time ago, they ditched him.
Ditched. Kind of deserved to get killed. Only knew him.
I'll level with you. I'll forget half of this tomorrow.
I'm sure you
like, on like a note and scribbles down, kill Lady Obsidian for 500 gold pieces.
Yeah, okay, you write that down.
And then she goes back and parties with people that probably love her at this point.
Yeah, there is a strong party atmosphere below. Okay, so does anyone else in the party have anything to do tonight?
No.
Curtis, who looks very surprised. I actually thought your camera had frozen then, but it was just you looking surprised.
I was looking at the map. No, I think that's me wrapped up. I was just going to go crew hunting, but I think Gwendeth sealed this up for us. Not really got much else to do till the ship is ready.
Okay, so...
Well, no, we definitely have something to do now. Kill the Gorgon.
Well, I don't know that yet, do I?
No,
So do so.
we'd say you're all nice and rested for the third day, and you know that your ship will be ready in about 4 days. When Gwendeth and George wake up at the Fresh Flask, halfway across town, well, all the way across town, somehow you've got from the Bastard's Blade to the Fresh Flask, and you wake up probably about 9, 10 the next day. The rest of you, I'm assuming, would have slept at the Ironblood residence, getting a full night's rest and feeling quite grand in the morning.
Huh?
You're all, of course, given a delicious breakfast of different fruits and meats. That's including the people at the Fresh Flask. And we will end the session there as we continue on next session. Chase down Lady Obsidian.
Round 2.